listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
Today's session, we'll be focusing on two topics. One is going to be an analytics builder and mobile studio. We will proceed further with the analytics builder. This is one of the easiest tools that in Salesforce Marketing Club. Perfect. Here we have the overview page. And we can add the report shortcuts. In case if you're quite frequently working on some reports, we can add the shortcuts here, like how we have those shortcuts. Two of these report shortcuts. Here, what we see here is all the reports which has been saved, which is being keep on running, or it's being scheduled to send the report to end recipients. These are all saved reports, and here in the report catalog we have plenty of standard templates from the Salesforce. We have 46 templates in email for Mobile Connect or for Mobile Push and going forward. We have a specific standard report for each and every channels. Now let's see what is something that we may quite frequently use it. There are some reports which we have it as a discovery report, which is now going to be expired. I think discovery report is going to be discovery report in analytics. It is planned for retirement. It is going to be retired in another couple of months, I believe. After that, in a full-fledged, we will also be able to start using the Datorama. It retires. Discovery report retires into April 2022 release. There are a couple of standard reports and also discovery reports. Let's see which are standard and discovery reports. Now the business value is all picked up on the email channel. Here I can see available only in Discover Audience Engagement Best Performing Send Date, Delivery Complaint Rate, Device Performance by Email Sends. These all are discovery reports, which is something that is not enabled for this account. And anyway, the property is going to be expired very soon. We have a Datorama. I have taken some screenshot from my other account where I had Datorama access. But with the account, what we have from Cloud Foundation, we don't have the access to Datorama. I'll share the screenshot and then it's very easy. We just have to pick up the fields and then generate the report, same as what we are going to be doing here. All starting with this report, catalog the standard reports. What we see here is quite important. Sometimes it's very useful. Example, we have A/B testing summary report, and if you'd like to fetch them, you can just create them. And we just have to pick up the date range and whichever the A/B testing that you like to pick up, and time zone and culture code. I guess there are only 2 A/B testing which I have created for my account, and then it went live. I can see only a couple of A/B testing here. Or else most of the A/B testing might have been completed and only 2 of these A/B testing may be running now. That's the reason I see only 2 of them. You can pick up your A/B testing that you have, and then all you have to do is just click on submit. Here we will be able to. There are sometimes you will be able to see a graphical representation. Some reports give you a graphical representation. Some reports does not support that because it may contain many data. What is this report is, as we can see, this is not generating any graphical representation here, like a chart. And then it shows a kind of a table here, which is not supporting for this A/B testing report. And here we have 3 options to export this report. The first option is I can send this report to my email, or I can send this report to AFTP location, or I can download it from my browser. If I click on download into a browser, there is a limitation here. The maximum file limit that we can download for Analytics Builder is 10 MB. If it goes beyond 10 MB file size, the only option that we have to export this report is from the AFTP location. Even I cannot use the email. For email, most of the cases it will not support if the file size is more than 5 MB. For browser download, if it's more than 10 MB, it won't support. If it's anything more than 10 MB, it's going to be your AFTP location. That's the best option that we have here. Now first, if I just click on this, it just asks for the file name A/B testing. We just have to give the email address here. Who needs to get the email? And if you would like to send this report to multiple persons, put semicolon. And then we can just keep on adding multiple email letters here. And what needs to be the subject line? If you'd like to add some notes to notes in the email, and we can also add notes. Here we have a CSV and BLT format and whichever that you would like to send it. In the other hand, where we were talking about Datorama, in the Datorama, we have a couple of more formats that we can extract. Those are really useful. Datorama is meant for really a good graphical representation. The same report, and we kind of like it's pretty much same as what we do here. And we will be able to customize the columns that we need. And the formats. The extraction formats are more like in Datorama. Like you can download it in a PDF. Suppose if you have to do any presentation to the management, you can just simply download the PPG directly from Datorama. And in fact, we can also send this report directly to the AWS storage service. Suppose if you have to send this report to external places, that is also possible. Extracting and formats are a little more in the Datorama. I just have to click on save and email will be triggered to the recipients that we include here. This is about sending the email results. Sending the results to the email address. And the next option, we have not worked on the FTP location far. I'll be talking about. This is one of the very important topic in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. We will spend some really good amount of time in the Automation Studio. Here I will also share the location, username, password, post and post number, which is really useful for accessing the FTP location. The FTP location is nothing, but it's a secure location which is being given for each and every business from Salesforce. In order to get access to this remote location, we need to use a software. That's an application called FileZilla. There are many applications that we have in the market which is free of cost. You can install it in your system. There is no registration, nothing required. In order to get access to this remote location, we need the host. We call it as a host. We need the username, password, and port number. And what you see in the left side is my local drive, local files. And what we see in the side is the remote site. Once I give the URL username, password, and port number, I will be able to start accessing the remote location. And I can transfer the file, I can pick up the file, I can do what's for sale, transfer the file, and receive the file. We use this software called FileZilla. In case if it's not installed in your machine, you can download them from Google. You can simply say FileZilla download based on your version, Windows or Mac. You should be able to download the versions. Perfect. We'll be working on this FTP file location and how do we get access to them and where do we can find out the credentials for FTP. And these are all something we will be covering in the upcoming session. For now, in case if you would like to send the file to an FTP location, include the name here and then wherever the location that you would like to send it. For now is only exact target enhanced FTP. There's only one option. We'll pick up that and whichever the format that you would like to send. We have to pick it up from here. And then once we hit on save, and the file will be saved in this particular location. Perfect. The next option that we have is a browser download. This is pretty much straightforward. We give some file names here and then we pick up the format, whichever the format that you would like to extract, and click on save. The report will be downloaded in the browser directly. What just happened? As soon as they click on download and give a name, which just downloads a file here, but it's like downloaded here. This account is strange. As soon as I click on download, it just like download the file immediately and then I can just like open them from here. Now if you would like to schedule this report and if you'd like to schedule the report, how we can do it. There are plenty of reports that we need to see on daily basis. Example, a whole summary report. When you do this, when you extract this report from a top level business, it will give you the entire information like how many emails when you put your child business in it, how many bookends, how many clicks and all of them. It's really important as an administrator if you're playing as administrator role in your organization as well. You need to run this in accounts and summary report to the internal stakeholders. Who example in the accounts and summary report. We will just have to pick up these report parameters for how many date range that you would like to give. Obviously, we would like to exclude the single send. If you have triggered any single email, this email to the single customer, then I would like to exclude them. Keep it as true. And the job IDs which has been suppressed from tracking. If it's been suppressed, and we won't be able to have any of the tracking information. I'm excluding the mask from here. We don't need them in the report. And the time zone. It can be your local system or if you are working in a different time zone. That is something that we can pick it up from here. And we have the culture code. It's simple, it's a language, I believe. We can keep it as it is. I'm clicking on Submit. Here again, the graphical representation, it's not showing because it doesn't support this report also. And we have the same option email report and also FTP. This report does not enable you to download the report from a browser. This option is not there for us now. Now, if you see two of this option, this is disabled. Now let's click on Save. When you save, that's when two of this option enabled for us. That's when you can also schedule the report. And let's say I click on Summary Report. When I click on Save, now this report is going to be saved and I can see them in the overview. Now I can see two of this tab is enabled. This is a snapshot. If you just click on them, it will just quickly ask you to run this report. And the report has been saved to your report overview. To see the details, view the report definition. You might have given the date range here and all of them. Here's for example, from when to when you might have already given this parameter and you can. Just when you click on it, it just runs it. That's it. And then once it is completed, you can extract the file and all of them from directly here. Let me open the report which I have created. Now I can see this report is completed. The status is completed. I can extract the file in CSV and all of them. I can pick it up from directly here. Or let's click on Edit. Now this is a part where we will use for our scheduling. This accounts and summary report is really important because we know how many emails that our child business are triggering. As an administrator, you always have to keep an eye on it. I'll tell you one use case where we usually trigger probably 5 to 10 lakhs of email per business unit on a weekly basis. And suddenly there was a spike for a country called Taiwan in my previous organization that they have sent out the email to 15 lakhs of customers. And then in a week immediately we went back to Taiwan business unit and then we checked everything. We did not have many customer base for Taiwan. And then we checked with the country manager and then we finally came to know that they have purchased the Salesforce, purchased some customers it had a quarterly close to 10 lakh customers. And then they have uploaded into SFMCA and they have triggered an email. Why it's illegal to do that. And as from Salesforce Marketing Cloud, we cannot buy a source of this. We cannot buy customer information and then import it and send it to our customers. It's illegal because they have not directly given a consent to us. There's a high chances probably all your email communications may mark as a complaint, marked as spam, or they may unsubscribe. then your peer reputation goes bad. If it goes bad, then you're on. The emails that we trigger from SFMC will always go to the spam folders. By keeping that all in mind, we run this report on a weekly basis. It will be keep on running in automated way. All the internal important stakeholders will get this email. We check, like in the back end, how many emails going, how many of them clicked. Even if there are any countries which does not have a proper delivery date. The support will also give you the delivery date information. Example like if you have a delivery rate less than 95%, then I think we discussed about this yesterday's session. If it's less than 95%, then you have to clean up your subscribers, remove the bounce customers, remove the unsubscribed customers, remove the test accounts. We have to make sure that we remove all of them to improve the deliverability. Here we check. Suppose if any of the country does not have a good delivery rate, we reach out to them immediately and we teach them or we train them how they can exclude these unwanted customers. All that's how, as an administrator, we play a role by extracting this report and looking at the report. This is one CV file. Just go with CSV file. Now here, when this report needs to be scheduled from, I'll just go with from today and starting at 26 a.m. and when this needs to be repeated, how early we have. For the use case, we were talking about weekday. Big day, we'll just keep it as a weekly all. Every 1 week, on every Monday, it will be keep on sending this report and when this needs to end, I'll just keep it for 1 year. Every week on Monday, I should be getting this report to my email address. The file format is going to be Excel. Here we include all the email address that we would like to send this report. We can add multiple email address by adding semicolon, subject line and note. If you would like to save this report to FTP and reports, for now I would like to send this report to my email address and we can just click on save. This scheduling will be saved and it will automatically keep on triggering the reports to the end person. Sometimes this report is also very useful. There are some cases where this report is required by other team. Example Google Analytics team or Adobe Analytics team. As we discussed, FTP does have credentials to access. We need credentials to access the FTP location. I will save this report to FTP location. Here is a FTP location. I'll give it a report name here and I'll save it. Every week, this analytics builder will be sending the report to this FTP location. I also share the credentials with my Google Analytics team, and what they will do is they will automatically pick up this file and then they will feed it to their system, and by doing that, they will also be able to see how many clicks, how many opens, how many customers received the email, what is the delivery, and everything. This is a CSV file and everyone can definitely import this data into the system. In case if these data are required by your other team, we can use this FTP location. We can directly send it to FTP location and you can share the FTP credentials and they will be able to access it. This is how we use the locations and then majority of the time we send this report to email. And we also frequently use the same in this report to FTP. Perfect. Great. This is comma 1 dot here. Say, suppose if we are running it on a weekly basis and storing it in FTP directory, what would be the file name? Yes, here we have the file name that we can mention it. The report name is, say, suppose it is running for the second week. Will it override or what happens? It doesn't override. We have an option called unique option. When I make it unique, it will add a timestamp automatically to each and every report. This is my report name analytics. When I make this option as a unique, every time when this report has been sent, it will have this timestamp like 2022 to the month is 2 and 17. This timestamp will automatically add it every time when we send. This report is going to be unique for us in the FTP. No money. Thanks. No problem. If this option is not selected, then it will be keep on overwriting the file and again in the FTP location. But the best option is to go with the make it unique that the timestamp. Perfect. I'll just give a quick pass here in case if any one of you have it out here in the scheduling or any the report section what we have discussed. I have a quick question mark. Yes, Mike, you're not able to export as a PDF, correct? Just CSV zip. Excel, what's listed here? Yes, we cannot download the PDF version here. That is only available in Datorama. Are we going to be covering Datorama? Yes, I have taken a screenshot. I'll quickly. Once I finish this, I'll also be able to cover that as well. Perfect. Thank you. You are saying that extended FTP location, but we are not giving any location name, anything here. We're talking about this. Here is the FTP location. Here we have only one location which is connected. We can use this location to send a file. If you specify this, it will go in particular location and not be clear about this. Yes. Exactly. Let's talk about this FTP location in very much in detail. But how does a file for FTP location work? Is we can create locations in this SFMC where this file need to be, where this file need to send. For now, it's automatically picked up. We can create a multiple file location and then we can pick up and then we can tell the system send this file directly to this particular folder. That's what we can do it and we can pick up from here directly. Thank you. We will cover this like in the more detail because it's really one of the important topic in SFMC. Hopefully. Great, I'll go back to the couple of other reports. The majority of the reports has the same concept and we just have to click on create and we just have to give the parameters here, like how far it is that we would like to pull out the report. And here we have to pick up the tracking and events points are like open. Each and every report has kind of the same functionalities and same parameters that we have to fill. Even if I just go with this, I just have to give the date and give us a campaign name that I have to pick up and then time zone. And if you would like to suppress and culture code. It's pretty much straightforward and very easy. But here there are plenty of reports we have, but we may not use all of them very frequently. I would like to cover just one day the most important reports that we quite frequently run as an administrator, and then we interpret the data internally. The one which we quite frequently run is a coincidence on the report, which will give you the entire image that has been sent for this account. If you run it in top level business unit, it extracts the report for all your business. This is something that we do run it quite frequently from a top level business unit to understand how each and every business unit is working out for us. And this is now expired. This discovery report is something that we don't have a license. Sometimes we also use this best performing sending. And how I use this report is internally is I used to work on a campaign execution side like 3 years ago, and where the management used to come and force us to deliver a campaign on some random day in a week. Suppose they send the campaign briefing and then they ask me to send the campaign immediately by today or tomorrow. I suggest them by looking at this report, because by pulling out this report, we can figure out when we have a more open trade. In which day in a week we have a good open trade. Like, is it Monday or Tuesday? By pulling up this report based on the historical events, we can suggest management, this is not the best day. Do you still really want to go and initiate this campaign? This is kind of giving you insights about which day is best for this particular account to send out the email. And yes, whenever we associate the campaign, and this is something that I have noticed in my couple of experience. We use a common campaign name for entertainment. Suppose there is a huge offer running now within the organization. Let's say that some big offer is running on for the very month. We all offers will be focusing on this campaign, and I will be one of the campaign specialists. I will be delivering campaign, and whenever they will, I associate the same campaign for this month. And same, it goes for each and every other marketing cloud users. They will also associate the same campaign name too. That's how we try in each and every SFMC exports. That point of time, it really helps you to based on the campaign, and suppose we have an email tracking report. All I just have to do is I have to pick up the campaign name which we are using. By looking at the campaign name, we can extract the entire report, like how many opens, clicks that we have for this particular campaign. You might have seen multiple emails, thousands of emails like using this campaign name. It will just compile this entire stats by the campaign name, and then it gives you the report. It's very useful to someone. Suddenly, the management comes back to you and asks you, we had a campaign called the February offer offers. What is it? It's a topic. And suddenly we might have done many campaigns that you would write for this February offer. And we cannot really go to each and every email and then extract the report. The best concept is to when these campaigns are associated to those emails, we can just use the name here, and then we can pull out the report for all the campaigns that we have for the campaign. This is really helpful sometimes. And then we've also run this report quite frequently, the availability. Complaint rate if your customers are complaining. This works based on the minds. When you run this report, It will give you the top 15 domains which has a complaint. More about your complaint, you more. Example, in the Excel sheet, we will be able to see a report like this. We will have the domains. This is how the reports used to be number of complaints. And it will have all the domains like Gmail.com, Yahoo.com, and then all the domains are there. There are plenty of them. It shows all the domain top 15 domains. It shows, and then you will also see a number of complaints that you have received. If you see really a huge number of complaints for a particular domain, you can exclude them. You can exclude this whole domain completely. There is an option which is something that we have in the Email Studio. Unfortunately, I think that access is something that I don't have it. I don't have access to it. When I go to Email Studio domain exclusion, in this I will see this is a report. We can exclude the domain. All here, this is one example. This is one of the domain if you would like to exclude. We can exclude them directly in the Administration tab. I cannot give you the best example. When I go to an admin there, we will get it to option. Under the not, I should get somewhere under the data management. Under the data management, I should get an option called exclude the domain. When I go to that option, I can just pull out this report. I can see which domain is not really giving a good result. Example. Like if it doesn't really like overcome, I'll just go ahead and add them into my exclusion list. If I send any email and if the customer does have this domain, they will be excluded automatically. We have to be a little bit careful here because we cannot just exclude the domain automatically because there are some cases you may have prospects using this domain. Most of the time, when do we add this domain? Exclusion is for the official domains. Like my previous organization's name is like some XYZ. They never allow commercial emails to come to my organization inbox. In that situation, I don't want them to. I don't want to keep sending the email to them. I think definitely it will directly go to a spam folder. They will not allow me it to be blocked automatically. When I have those set of domains, exclude them. This is how the corporate also works. We get the email only from the colleagues or like from the agencies. We don't usually get the promotional emails to the inbox because they have a firewall setting. It will block all the commercial emails. In that situation, we have to identify which are those domains which is not allowing us to send out the email. And then we need to add those domains here as exclusion. And we won't be sending out the emails to them. And then your IP repetition also will be healthy for us. That's how we use this report here. And going back to the report, deliverability device performance. It just gives the performance report for devices like a laptop, mobile tablet. That's how it gives the report. It does not give the breakdown for which device it is. Example like Android phone 1 Plus or is it iPhone 13 Pro. It doesn't give a breakdown based on the devices, but it just gives the overview of it. Are we getting more number of open trade from mobile or are we getting more number of open trade from desktop or laptops? That's a kind of overview, a stats that we get here. But in this report is somewhat insightful. Because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we used to deliver a campaign, email campaigns which are supported only for desktop. And slowly there's a lot of customers now. I think it was like not even 3 years, like 5 years ago. We used to have a lot of open trade from desktop and laptop than mobile phone. And then it completely opposite now. And we get a number of lot of open trade from mobiles than the desktop and laptop. You have to understand where you're getting a more open trade and where are the customers. What are your customers? Based on that, you can align your templates. Most of the cases, your template will not support the tablets. If you have a bigger screen, it doesn't also sometimes supports it. By pulling out the support and you can understand the devices and then you can adopt your campaigns and you can tell the developer. We have also some good number of open trade and click rate from tablets. Can you please also optimize the existing template for tablet users as well? They will be able to make changes and it will be properly aligned for the tablet users. That's how this report is going to be insightful for us. Perfect email performance by device. And email performance by domain again. This is also sometimes we run it, but at least I run this report once a month. I have this report to be delivered to my inbox. This gives the email performance by domain. We may have many email domains that we might have sent out the email and it just gives a report of a top 50 domains and how many emails that has been sent and how they are performing well, how many open rate from this particular domain and all of them. This is also sometimes helpful. Email performance over time. All. I think the rest of them all are straightforward. Majority of the templates are like the same. That is that we have to give. First thing the date range and then we just have to select where we would like to extract the report from. We'll see a couple of more reports and then we wind up our analytics build out because it's something that we can definitely explore. It's very easy. And then I'm checking any other reports that we quite frequently use it. One reason emails in summary such paper engagement. This report is important. Subscribers not sent to. We run this not too frequent, but we run it at least once in a year. I work for an organization where they are super regulated. Even if we have all the security measures. Example, if I log into IN and SFMC, I need to have this SSO enabled and I should have been to a particular location. I should have a particular IP address. There are many security measures that we have. subscribers. Cleanup is also one of the regulations that we have internally. What happens is we discussed about this. Salesforce Marketing Club is not a CRM platform to save all the customer information. We will keep the customer only who are required for them, who are required to be in SFMC. We do this cleanup on a yearly basis to see if we have not sent any email communication to the subscribers. This report will help you to figure out if, for the past 1 year, if we have not sent out any email communication at all. This report here is for past 30 days. You can pick it up for a custom range. You can just define for the past 6 months, something like that. Here you can pick up the all subscribers. When you pick up the all subscribers, it's going to give you the report. Take the all subscribers. How many of them have? We have not sent the email for last 30 days. By looking at this report and internally, we take a decision. If these subscribers do, we really need them in SFMC. Or can we delete them? That's what we take a decision internally, and then we proceed further with cleaning them up. This is one of the criteria for deleting the contact. Another criteria would be like if the customer is not engaging with the email, like for the past 1 year, 2 years, but we have sent the email, but they're not engaging with the email communication for the past 1 year, like they have never opened any email. In that case, we will also just think that they will decide internally to clean them up. There are many criteria. This is one of the criteria which will help you to see the customer who has received an email. Then we save them in a separate data extension, and then we proceed further with deleting those contacts. Whenever we do this cleanup, it saves the money for your optimization because we pay to Salesforce for a number of subscribers we have in SFMC. Whenever we clean up these subscribers, it will help us in saving some money for an organization. This is support at least once a year that we run it to check the jobs, the service, and what we see in the email. A lot of them. Here's saying it for an engaged subscribers. We delivered an email to them. They haven't opened or clicked any of my email for the past 1 year. It's all. We have to probably come up with an interesting campaign for 2 of these categories. And we have to see if they are really engaging. If not, then we remove them. This is also one for the report, which we may run it like I've used once a year. Perfect. Subscriber most recent activity. All of them are pretty much same and straightforward. We have the description, and we also have a couple of more reports on Juni Builder. We have only 2 reports like Juni, Builder emails in summary by day and like in summary. This will give the entire report for all the juniors. We can also pick up the Juni. Suppose if you're running any Juni, you can pick them up. On the subscriber not to send, suppose in your experience, if you find out the list of subscriber, will you delete from SFMC or how you handle it? That's another. All what I usually do is we keep the longer gap like 2 years. Then there are some cases there would be duplications. Once I pull out the subscribers who we have not sent out the email, I usually keep the date range for 2 years and then take a backup of all of these customers. That is something that's possible in SFMC. And then we will delete those subscribers who are not engaged with us and whom we have not sent out the email. the longer date range. When we keep it, it's going to be safer. That's why we keep the little longer range. Instead of 1 year, we can also keep it for 2 years. That's going to be a safer. And the second thing, we always have to make sure that we take a backup of it for each and every customer before we delete. Then we are safe. In case, if these customers are going, we can just import them. Great. Perfect. We were talking about a journey, builder reports. In case, if you would like to pull out the report for your specific journey, we can get the mark here. And we have versions that we can create multiple versions in the journey. That is something that you can also pick it up. And then the stuff is pretty much the same. We just have to pick up the journey here. That's it. Rest of them is pretty much same mobile push and mobile connect. Each of them has a full reports. It has the summary report and push notifications, SMS and summary deactivation summary and all of them. This is all very much straightforward. And even cloud page. We will be able to see all the cloud pages that we have published, how many impressions that we have for each and every page. Suppose if I have created 1000 pages or 1000 pages, how many clicks? How many clicks is something that we won't be able to track it. How many impressions then? How many times the customers have opened my landing page? That is a kind of a report that we will be able to pull up on here. That's a click on summary. I get an option here directly here to send the support to my images. Perfect. And here this one contact counts. I run this on a weekly basis. I get this report on a weekly basis. I usually run this report on top level business. Because we all know I always have to keep an eye on the number of contacts that are being added into an SFMC. And if there is any suspicious number of phones that you see a sudden spike, then we immediately need to take an action. I always keep an eye on this. Contact counts because it's directly connected to the cost factor for the organization. As we discussed, my organization is very huge. We have about close to 115 business units. Each and every business unit represents a country for me. Each and every business unit will have many of 10 users. I have about close to 1200 to 1500 marketing cloud users who actively opens MMC in my organization. We have trained each and every one. Whenever they ask for access, we train them. We have some documents and we train them, and that's when they get access to it and they have approval from the manager. But there are some salesperson, there may be like some marketing executive. They may just like execute. They may just purchase the audiences from some company and then they will have to tell them to send out the email. We will be able to keep an eye on it. Whenever someone input the contacts and send out the email, there'll be a sudden spike for the country that we can see. It will show you the entire country, the business rates, and tell you what is the number of contacts that we have. We are sending this report to Power BI. Power BI is also like really a wonderful analytics tool, Power BI. We can download this data visualization tool. It's from a Microsoft. And what happens is we are feeding this report to this Power BI tool on daily basis. All what it does is, it will help us to visualize the data. Last month I had many contacts added for Japan. This month, how many contacts has been added for Japan? It gives a kind of a comparison. I usually keep on checking this data visualization pages like what is the progress for each and every country. It just like in a single page, it gives you the entire visualization. And suddenly, if I see a spike for one country and immediately go to this particular business we need, and then I see like what went wrong and there will be some responsible person for each and every country. And I reach out to them why. There's much like a sudden spike in your context. Did you purchase any contact or did you do any manual upload? And if they have imported, and then we invite all the SFMC users to train them, what is the best practice need to be done? We'll train them to use the list loader. There is a system tool called list loader where we can import them. It comes to a Salesforce marketing club. We can only import them into a data extension. We train them various options that we have in the organization. This is very useful. And if you're playing an administrator role, please use these reports to understand how your business are really adding the subscribers. Sometimes if you see that they are manually importing, is disable those users and don't give them my import access for them. That is something that we can also maintain here in the administration part. Perfect. I think that's pretty much on the reporting side. We have many reports here. We don't use most of them. Some reports, we use it for different purposes. We have covered majority of the reports which we quite frequently use it. We can focus this mobile studio. This one is going to be on a company execution side of it. What I can do is let's focus on the mobile push and then we'll jump into mobile connect. This is something that we don't have a license. We have already discussed about this little more session. There are plenty of reports that we have in the data. The first one is an email overview. I just scroll down. We have an email performance. We have a journey performance by email, and then we have an email deliveries. These are all our tabs that we will be able to see in the left side. First, let's say that if I click on email overview, we just have to pick up the current date. And if you'd like to compare it with the previous year, we can also pick up the comparison date. For example, for this whole month and last month, you can compare it and pick up the business, which one you would like to run this report for, and then campaign name. And we just have to apply and we will be able to see number of send and number of bounce rates and open rate. And we will also see that kind of graphical presentation here. These are the kind of reports which are there by a system same as what we have in the report. We can just export them if you would like, or we will be just able to see the graphical representation here. This report called Email Overview and Email Performance will give you the emphasis stats for each and every send deliveries, opens and commit rate. And we see the same fields in the Datorama. But the one advantage is it's going to be like a more presentation side of it. It will have a more graphical representation here. Like here, we have like a different way of how many sends, clicks and opens, and all of them. We'll be more into graphical representation in the Datorama. Same goes with the journey builder. Here we'll be able to tell us like what is the top 5 journeys, which has a more open rated click rate, which does not have a good open rate, and often top and bottom. We can see them here. And email deliveries. Here again, how many emails that has been delivered and bounced and sent. We get exactly the same one, but only the user interface is a little bit different. But I'll tell you like why Datorama is going to be like really powerful. I'll come to that point. We have like very basic reporting structure here, and this is for email delivery again. Email engagement. We get all the KPI here for email engagement. Email performance. We can also pick up this email performance is really very useful. The stuff that's like pretty much straightforward. I just have to pick up the range, I just have to give the business rate and the campaign name and apply, and it shows the result first. But here I can pick up the email name and email subject. Suppose if you would like to see the responses, and I always have to go to a job ID, I have to figure out what is my performance, email performance for particular email. Here, I can just check them, pick up the email and put the subject name here. Then, when you apply, you can see the result. Performance of this particular campaign, like here directly. And then you can export this to full title here as well. And this is the Bango table we have in the data amount. And I find this report as a super useful. And we have used a table. Before in the Excel sheet. Suppose if you like to apply like a table here, also here when you put an insert, we have a table. And you click on. And then you have all of these columns. And then you can drag and drop whichever that you would like to bring in. Example topic. And then all the topics will be on the row. Now, if you add the topics also in the values for each and every topics, how many counts that we have this table. It's very useful for reporting purpose. Same way we can also create the report. Now we have all the dimensions, we have all the measurements. Measurements are basically your engagement like open, direct, complete, and all of them. We have plenty of them as well. Your dimensions represents your fields. Like we have a business with name, email name, job ID, and our campaign name. Those will be under the dimension. You can customize your own report here. All example, and suddenly someone comes to you like, for example, if any business comes to you and asking I would like to pull out the report for my entire country, can you please tell me? I would like to fetch the report where I have the email name as a PayPal. This is something not possible in the Analytics Builder Report tab. Here you can put the filter saying email name contains PayPal, and then you'll be able to pull out this report. All in case, if I have to just put this kind of a filter in Analytics Builder, this is really not possible. I cannot put this kind of a filter. Data Normal gives you help and gives you a control in customizing your report as much as possible. Even though I see like some fields is something we see in the dimension part like CT buttons. In case if you would like to, there's one situation we have come across recently. There's one link which we have been using it for 3 to 4 years. And suddenly that link is now expired. And we are happy I've changed that link now. And I want to know how many emails are using the CTI button, this particular CTI links. And it's really not possible in the system. See, surprisingly, there's no option. And I have to pull out the report and then I have to manually filter it and see how many emails are using the CTI button. All if I have to pull out the CTI links which is being used in the email. That's not possible. But in some situations, which is not something possible in the analytics builder reports. And it is possible in Theta. Example, you can apply the email name here. Like plenty of other options like dimensions, we have many columns emailing link, alias email, alias name. There are plenty of options. It will help you to customize your report. Perfect. Yes, this is all about the data and it's very, very easy. I'm showing flat files. It does not show what all files are supported. But PD, F, PPD and sending. We can also save the file directly in the Amazon Web Service FTP locations. That's all something possible. Perfect. I have a question, Kumar. My company does have Datorama signed up for. We're gonna be working with it in the next month and they do have the full licenses for it. Does it make sense for me to just use Datorama and not Analytics Builder, knowing it has that interface, or should I be using both? Pretty much. We can extract all the reports from Datorama. We can extract, but only few cases. We will have to use the older version of it, like contact accounts or subscribers who are not engaging or subscribers who have not been sent. Those reports are something not available in Datorama now. In case, if we have to log those reports and we have to use the reports. And if it's like a more customized report, then we can use the Datorama. Perfect, thank you. Perfect. Great. Perfect. We'll proceed further with the next topic, which is going to be a mobile push. I think we started the session at 6:30. We'll wind up the session at 8:30. I guess we'll be able to wind up a mobile push in 1 hour, probably like in 45 minutes. As we discussed earlier, the demo session for mobile push. We don't have a licensed mobile push and mobile connect. We'll be able to see majority of them in the practical side of it. Only like 30% we will have to go theoretical. But first I would like to show you the administration part in mobile push. Administration part, exactly like how we can register the application into an SMC. Suppose if your organization has application, how do we register that in SMC? I guess I don't have access. Here go to Mobile Studio. I have a mobile push. Let me see like if I at least get an access to this. I have administration rights here. I can access the administration tab in this account. Here, whichever the application which you have registered, and you should be able to see them here. Suppose if your organization has your own application. in my organization, we have something like a travel buddy. If anyone traveling to like abroad, we have this travel buddy, something like that, which will help us to book the tickets and all of them from this application. Suppose if you would like to send this, if you would like to register this application to an SMC and get to bring the data into SMC, it's very simple. And any applications which is publicly hosted, like if it's listed in Play Store or if it's listed in iOS Store, then it will be very easy for you to bring those customers into SMC. On top of that, even if you have any website which is not hosted and then you would like to register, you would like to connect it with SMC. This is something that Android or iOS developer will be able to help with. Here, our part is going to be very little in terms of integrating the application. All we have to do is, once we come to the administration part, let's click on Create New Application. And here I'll just say Cloud Foundation. And I don't want to give a little. Let's say CF. And then we'll save. Once I create the application, it will automatically create the access token, app ID, and app endpoint. These three information is really important. This is the information that we have to share with the iOS developer or Android developer. Our part is done as soon as we share. And now it's up. Now we just have to share this information with the developer, and iOS, Android developer will be able to send the data and integrate the application into SFMC. There are some instructions that we usually give it to. Whenever I create this application, I share this information, all of this information. At the same time, I will also share this instruction. This page, it has instruction to integrate the application into SFMC. These kind of access will be only there for iOS or Android developer. All until and unless you are a developer, then you may not be aware how this integration is done. I'm not an iOS or Android developer. I have no clue that how this has been done, but I want to learn on this part because it's something really interesting. But if you are iOS and Android developer, I usually share this document with them, and then I will also share this information and they will be able to start sending the data to the SFMC. And this is the only configuration that we have to do it from SFMC in case if you would like to integrate the application. But there are some manual setup we have to do with you in the administration part. The first thing we have to upload the icon. This is very important in case if you would like to send the push notification to the mobile applications, then this is really important. We have plenty of push notifications. If I say I'll explain from here one by one here itself. Now, let's imagine that we have a only Android application and once we share this information to the developer, and developer will be able to give us the first EFCM server key. This is something that he has to do. He or she has to do it. Once the configuration is completed in the backend, and it will create an EFCM server key for us. And I just need to feed in this information, and this will be enabled automatically and click on save. And then this application is successfully integrated into the EFCM. And then we'll be able to start seeing the data flow into this application. It goes same with iOS. But it's a little more secured because we have a little more complex integration for iOS, because we need this public auth key, which we have to store it in a text format. And then we have to save it in a CSV, text format, and then we have to upload it here. And we have a key ID, team ID, and module ID, and all of them. This is something that we should be able to get from the developer. And once we give these informations, this option will become enabled. And then we can start sending out the push notification to these application users. Not only a push notification, we can also send in-app messages, and also we can send out messages to the inbox in the application. There are three types of campaign that we can execute in mobile push. Push notification is pretty much straightforward. We get a lot of push notifications. And let me just show it from Johnny Builder directly. Suppose if you add some product into a cart, like in Amazon or a Flipkart or Zalando, any e-commerce website, you add any product into a cart and then you abandon the application. You leave the application, and after some time, there'll be a push notification from Amazon saying that when they do stocks left, would you like to buy the product immediately? Those set of communication, those are tough interaction. We call it as a push notification. There's also something called in-app notification. Suppose this in-app notification works based on your session time. Suppose if I open Amazon application, this application will be keep on tracking each and every user how long they've been spending time on the application. Or I can send the in-app notification based on session time of a user. Suppose if one particular user session is more than 7 minutes or 10 minutes, and I can send an in-app message. You might have put an application, you may be looking at some product. Suddenly there'll be a pop-up concern if you spend more than 7 minutes. And then when you click on it, it will take you to a particular product page. This is kind of a campaign. We call it as an in-app message. That is also possible. When we do this integration, we'll be able to track all the session time of each and every user. And then we put the filter. Session time is equal to more than 7 minutes. Send this push notification like a kind of a flash sale or like a big offer that you would like to give to the customer who are spending more than 7 minutes of time in your application. That is one campaign. And the third type of campaign in mobile push is it's called inbox in-app messages. I'm not sure if you have seen a notification or an inbox folder inside the application. I don't see them in the e-commerce, but I noticed that in the gaming applications, like a PUBG Call of Duty, there are mobile applications, gaming applications. In that application, there is an inbox in the application. We use this inbox application. Suppose if your customer is unsubscribed from your email, and if your customer is unsubscribed in receiving the push notification, we can use this kind of a campaign to send a message to their inbox inside the application, not an email inbox I'm talking about. We have an inbox folder or the notification folder. Sometimes you see like a kind of a bell icon when you open an application, and when you click on it, it will give you kind of a promotional or some task which you have pending. There also, you can send the push notifications. You can send a message to the inbox folder or the bell icon tab. That is also possible. That is the third campaign that we have. We immediately use in-app and push notification. 9% it will be a push notification. 10% I would say in-app notification. It's very less that we use this inbox in-app inbox notifications because we never receive any good result out of it. That's the reason for my personal view. I mean like my perception for the campaign that I have delivered. It did not work out. Maybe like if you have any like a relevant application which has inbox or location, then it may work out for your organization. Great. Once this is done, let's see the kind of an optional setup that we have here. Extending mobile app using custom key and value pairs, configured key values when you create the message. I'm not sure about this. I have never used the custom key. I'll definitely listen to this and I'll get back to you on this. This interactive notifications. This is something very common. If you have these applications called Paid or Google Pay in your applications, which are like quite common in India, which is very popular for transactional in India. I use this to have this application quite frequently. They use interactive notification. Example, when I enable it, it will add a buttons in the notification directly. Example in this type, I'll exit. It will create it when we send out the push notification. I'm checking if I have push notification activities in this account. Not also there in this account. I was trying to show like how it really looks, or for us, like whenever we send the push notification, we can check how it really looks. Push notification. Enroll. We get this kind of notification. Let me all open this. Get started now setting. This is a kind of interactive. We usually get, this is a title, your visitors are waiting for you. Send timely, precise and relevant push notification. We have a title, we have a body text. This is most of the common push notification. These two we see here. It's an interactive push notification. There will be two buttons. It's only a link it shows. It will be a two button here. One is interested, another one is an exit. If I exit, this notification will be closed. If I click on interested, it will take me to the particular location in the application. This is an example for interactive push notifications. Of course, if you'd like to use those buttons, you can configure them here. We have an open direct. As much customer clicks on interest, it is taking them to a particular location. In the application, if you'd like to do that, we have to keep this option enabled. And custom sound. I personally feel like sometimes it's really not good to send the custom sound to the users. When I enable it, I will get an option at the time of executing the campaign to use a customized sound. There's an application, I'm not sure like in India, it's very popular. It's called Zomato. In the Zomato application, Zomato is a food ordering application. And as soon as you place the food order, it throws some random sound there. That's a notification saying that your food order has been placed and the food is being prepared. Now getting prepared. It throws some crazy sound there. I used to wonder like where the sound is coming from. It kind of sometimes a little bit irritating, like when we use this custom sound, but it again depends on organization to organization. Perfect and in-app display. This is a campaign I was talking about in app display. When your user is spending more than 7 minutes or 10 minutes, we can send out the pop-up notification in the application directly. If you would like to send out the campaigns, we have to enable it. We have a maximum displays per session. Maximum session like usually 1 part 2 because I would keep on sending like this pop-up notification like an again and again. How many times I can send out this in app message? Is it 1 or 2? Maximum I can say 2. Suppose if a customer is spending like more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes, how many times I can send the in-app notification? I'm giving it as a 2 here. This use case would be a 1. This is all the optional setup. We have to do it. And it's pretty much everything we have checked. Custom key. This is something that I make a note of it and then I just come back to you in the next session. I have never used this part. It's gently mobile app using custom key and value and best configure key values when you take the message. Android developer will queue the server key that needs to be configured here. Exactly. We're talking about the Android versions. No, it's not exactly like. No restrictions exactly here on Sriva. Because if you want to send the version more than 7.0, we want to send the. What are the customer who have the version of 7.0? Then how can we send? There's no restriction. We can send anyone any version. Yes, in fact, I never seen an option at the time of executing the campaign that this user should be like using the updated version or something like that. But this may be may be controlled from the developer side, may not be controlled from our side. This is something that we don't have a control at all in SFMC. Like what is the version that customer has to be using? But this may be possible from a developer side. No, sometimes that message will not support. If the version is less than 7, then at that time that message will not push to that particular customers or any customers. Yes, it's possible, but I never seen any option in SFMC to talk about the version. I have not worked on this Shiva, not clear about it. This may be a question to developer and iOS or Android developer, but let me probably check this and get back to you. Thank you. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@uptalk.com.